Hi, this is Krista, and we are talking this week about debunking myths. One myth that we have been given is that there are only 3 techniques of ways that we like to learn. Kinesthetically, which is doing something while you're learning. Auditorily, which is only listening while you're learning. And then visually, which is looking at something while you are learning. They say that those are the only 3 ways that you can learn. That is what we have been taught as educators, that you learn the best as a student by using one of these preferred ways. And actually, through research, that is shown not to be true. You can have a preference of which way you like to learn, but there is actual research shown that you don't necessarily learn the best by just using your preferred way. Those students didn't do any better by just using the preferred way. They did the same using all 3 ways on their scientific research study. Let me give you an example. If we are having a science unit on plants, we want to find out which plants are actual flowery plants that we want to keep, that we plant on purpose, or weeds that we don't want. Let's say you're a kinesthetic learner, and in our myth, we have to do something about these plants to teach you kinesthetically which are weeds and which are flowering plants that we want to actually keep. I could take you to your playground, or in my case, I could take you back here to my backyard, to the swing set back here, and we could kick our legs, and we could talk about vocabulary words, and each time you push your leg out, we could learn a specific vocabulary word. And when you pump your leg back, we could look and learn another vocabulary word. So you're actually doing something. If we were an auditory learner, I could just tell you, this is a weed and this is a plant, and you would just believe me by hearing what I have to say. If you're a visual learner, I could show you our weeds and our plants, and I could tell you that this thing right here is a weed. Please pull it. But this beautiful green and purple plant right here, that is a primrose flower, and we want to keep it in our yard. We want to keep it in our flower bed. If you looked at our flower bed, you would be asking me which is a weed and which is a flowering plant, and I would have to tell you. And I could actually go down there and visually show you, or I could tell you with my words, or I could kinesthetically, I could actually pull the weeds out of there and then show you it to you. What we have learned through research, like I said, there is no difference between your preference technique and using the other 2 techniques that you do not prefer. It was said by Benedict Carey that there is a technique called interleaving. Interleaving is using mixed related materials, but different materials, but putting them together during studying to help you do better and to retain and learn better. When you learn about a specific topic using different techniques, you're going to remember it different ways. There are also different techniques that can be used while, let's say, reading your textbook. You could use elaborate integration. You could use self-explanation. You could use summary or highlighting or underlining those words that you want to learn. Which right there, out of those 4, you're using all 3 techniques, and you can use them all at the same time. There is no specific technique that we need to use. We use all 3. It's called multitasking as a teacher. You can multitask. You can teach your children all 3 ways, and therefore they are learning how to teach themselves how to use different ways to learn their specific subject that you want them to learn. There is no specific technique that you'd use better than one or the other. It is actually just a preference, and that is what we learned this week about debunking myths.